do you really want to know how to act in an effective way in this world? And then this Pluto-Uranus transit on your Mars is just maybe the thing that you need. It's just reflecting that that's going to happen, that you're going to do the things that other people dream of, and that you will have the power, the desire, and the intensity, and the focus to do so. Well, if you're having your Mars around 6, 7, 8, 9 degrees of Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer, then it means that you're having a Pluto-Uranus transit in a challenging way. So it is squaring or opposing your Mars, which means there is an opportunity. It's going to be challenging, because I'm not going to talk about the trines and the sextiles on your Mars, which is going to be more fluently, more smoothly. I'm going to talk about the squares and the oppositions, because that is more challenging, and how we can cope with those transits at its best. Because there is potential, as I said in the first video, of Pluto-Uranus in general, what it is about. In general, it is about change. But when you combine this with Mars, the planet of action, it means that you're going to have a change when it concerns how you put things into action. And so what is the key word here? I think the key word here is being effective and using your Mars in a proper way, so which means not overdoing it, and not using your Mars at all. So it's a balance, and the key word, I think, is self-confidence, is being aware of yourself, being in self-control, and accepting yourself. Yeah, I think these are the key words if you're having this transit. Now, to explain this energy a little bit more in a very easy way, I'm going to use an example to explain Pluto-Uranus on your Mars. What is it about? Well, to have this in a natal chart, I mean, I've got a sister who's got like a whole stellium in Pisces, and even Venus in Pisces, so that is all about being very much able to connect with other people, to be very gentle, to be very sociable and all that. But every now and then she changes into this verbal Jeanne d'Arc, and that is because she's got this verbal Mars in Gemini squaring up to Pluto and Uranus. And who's the target? Well, for her, the target is men in uniform, and even worse, women in uniform. It's like, I don't know what happens, but there's something that triggers her, and she's very sensitive to the power of other people, and in her case, it's people in uniform, and especially the people who misuse it. So she's very, because I think maybe with the Venus in Pisces, she loves the underdog, so she stands up to it, and you know, when we're at an event or something, and something happens, and they show their authority, and she can't stand it. It is something that triggers her, and she explains it to me as, she says, it's a side of myself that I really don't like, and it's like I'm going to have this fight with these people, you know, on a verbal side, because I really can't stand it, that dark side of me. And of course that's really challenging, and but that's the kind of energy. I was talking about this Mars, Pluto, Uranus square, and in a natal chart it can really mean that you don't have to push these people. You really don't have to push these people and tell them, you've got to do this and that, because they probably do the opposite. So they have an issue with, I mean, they have a challenging stuff going on with authority, with people who are in charge. So it is a very big awareness of power, a big awareness of power in life and how you can deal with it. So when you're having a Pluto-Uranus square to your Mars, or an opposition, it really means that something is going on with power. Something is going on with power, and you will be challenged to use this in a good way. I mean, not like my sister does, like you know, the whole verbal thing going on, and it will be very destructive for her, in her case financially destructive because of all the fines. But she says it's getting better, a tiny little bit. She's around her 50s, so it's getting a little bit more in control. So the issue here is to be in control of this very compulsive energy. My sister says, I can hardly control it. And I believe her. I think she can hardly control it. But the more that you're aware of it, the better it gets. And the better you can control it. And it has a very beautiful flip side. Flip side of it is that you have an enormous amount of energy to do something. And to do something very good in this world. I mean, these people are so focused. And if they want to do something, they are so passionate and so effective and successful if they do it in a harmonious way, if this Mars is in balance, basically. So this could be the challenge for you when you're having this Pluto-Uranus transit. Uranus enforces this because Uranus wants to liberate, and Uranus wants you to get free of the change that you're in. So when it concerns Mars, Uranus really wants to free up your Mars, really wants you to let go of your Mars and not to over-focus too much, and that it'll be a liberation if you have control over your Mars. So there can be different scenarios. I mean, from aggression to an over-focus on something, and it really tends, or there's a kind of a need for exploring the edges, and which can of course be a good thing, because if you focus this to do a project that you wanted to do for a long time, or if you focus this to have a good relationship, or you focus this to be creative in a kind of a way, and that's very much in line with who you are, then this is a wonderful transit. But again, it's in a square and in your opposition, which means that it's going to be challenging. So there is a possibility that you will go over the edges. So you are going to explore a bit too much, and it'll end up in excessive things that are going to come into your life. So maybe it's just a lot of people, when they talk about addictions, they talk about the planet Neptune, and I think they're right. Neptune is all about, I think, people like alcohol are addicted to alcohol or drugs. They just don't want to feel, or it's just hurting too much, and that it's a high sensitivity. Actually, it doesn't look like it, but it is. And they just want to put their heads in the sand. But with Pluto, I think has also, I'm not going to say you're going to get addicted or something, but I just want to explain that it has this compulsive behavior, and that can also have the tendency for addictions, but on another level, more like, how would I call, like the workaholic, or the sexual addicted person who has this compulsiveness. I must seduce 5 women today, or I have to, at work, I have to do better every day, and it gets compulsive and it gets self-destructive. So by the way, a very good movie that's about this compulsiveness is the movie Shame. It's about sexual addiction. It's a very good movie. It's explained on a very objective level how this is all, how this can ruin your life, actually. But it doesn't have to be this heavy, but I just want to show that it is quite an intense energy, and it is an energy that really has to find its way So you better use it for something that is in line not only with yourself and with your own personality, but also with all the things around you. And if you're going to use this in a good way and to do good for yourself, you're definitely going to do good for other people too. So what else? Uranus, yes. Uranus is about this freeing up, so this can help, this energy. And with Uranus involved in this transit, it could add to sudden events that happen to you. But of course it depends on where your Mars is situated in your chart. So it could even be, let's say, an example that you are a man and you have this transit. It could be that you have a new girlfriend and you must have, or you're having a power struggle with the ex-boyfriend of your girlfriend. Or maybe there is legal things going on and you have to stand up for yourself, but in a good way, I mean in a balanced way, not just trying to overpower that other person. And the other way around. So it's also about overwhelm or getting overwhelmed. So not doing that, because it's both not a good thing. So it could be like that. Or if you are a woman, it could mean that you're going to attract men in your life. If you're single, maybe you're going to attract someone who's quite platonic and Uranic, so who's quite who's quite strong personality, and a powerful personality, and that reflects that you need that kind of person just to discover what your own power is about. And of course, in relationships, when this Mars is affecting, or this transit is affecting your relationships, it's all about the power struggle that we often see in relationships and how to deal with this. So maybe you're going to meet, whether you're a man or a woman, you're going to meet someone who's very much on the same line with you, who's very much vibrating at the same energy. I mean, not someone who's very easy to dominate, who's just your level and who will know all the tricks that you do, or you know. So it's going to be a challenge, and you're going to know a lot more, and you're going to understand a lot more about your own power and about how you do things in life. So that's it. That's the transit of Pluto-Uranus on your Mars. It's a huge opportunity to get very effective in life, and to do very effective things, and to be successful at what you wanted to do. I mean, if you wanted to do things for so many years in your life, this is the moment to do it. And because it gives you energy. This is a transit that gives you energy. I mean, physical energy, but also confidence to do things that maybe years ago you didn't, or you were scared to do it, or there was a fear to do it. Again, this Pluto-Uranus is about fear too. So maybe you're having a bit fear of your own power. And why is that? So, or maybe you're a woman and you will attract a man, and you're going to say again, why these men that are always this powerful, or that want to be dominating me? Maybe you have to ask yourself the question, is it something that I've got too? Is it something that I project? Is it something that I want to do, that I want to control other people instead of they want to control yourself? So it's about control too. So again, this transit will force you to ask these questions, which is a good thing, because these questions will come up not in a second, but this transit gives you round about the time of 1.5 years, 2 years to get stronger when it comes to your Mars. So you've got time to dig deep and to transform. So I wish you all the luck with this Pluto-Uranus transit on your Mars. If you want me to look more specifically, I mean, this is a general explanation, but if you want me to look more specifically, just get in touch. I'll put a link with the email and so on. And in the meanwhile, take this opportunity, embrace it, and work with it.